You know, when I grew up, I was eating chili cheeseburgers 3 times a week, but I lived in Greenville, South Carolina, and they make them very different in the Carolinas than they do anywhere else. Now, how do you make a Carolina chili cheeseburger, you say? Well, I'm gonna show you. Let's go. So, for a Carolina chili cheeseburger, you need slaw. And that slaw needs to contain some onions. So I have a very small onion right here. You don't want too much onion in the slaw because it will just continue to build flavor the longer it's in there. So I'm not even gonna dice this one. I'm just gonna quarter it and then throw it in the food processor because I've got some slaw mix, but it's too thick right now. We need to knock that size down just a little bit to get the right texture. Don't have to go too fine right now because I'm going to throw the slaw in there and knock that down too. It's important if you can get slaw mix that doesn't have red cabbage in it. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but red cabbage in coleslaw looks prettier in the package than it's ever going to look after you mix it up. Just about like that. Okay, to this slaw, I'm going to add a cup of mayo. Going to add about 3/4 a cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of black pepper. Do it to your taste. And then last, but very important, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. That's optional, of course, but it does make it much better. Okay, now we got this ground beef in here. This is going to be a little tip for a bunch of you because a lot of people don't know how to make chili like I'm about to do. And what you have to do is right at this time during the cooking process, you have to add some water. Now this will allow the meat to separate, so it goes into little tiny grains and no big hunks, because that's what we want on a chili cheeseburger. We don't want big hunks. We want it to be separated completely. Now we just stir this around and never ever drain this. For goodness sakes, never drain this. This is going to have all your flavors. We're going to season it. It's going to have all your seasoning. Everything is in it. And that grease that cooks out of this is going to be essential to making this chili. I'm going to go ahead and add about 2 teaspoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons, well, maybe 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of chili powder. That is what I make it 2. Okay. Go ahead and stir this in. And we need some black pepper, of course. Okay, our ground beef is basically cooked, but we're going to go ahead and add about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of onion diced. Let this start cooking down inside of there. Those onions are going to go completely away. They're going to disintegrate into nothing before we're done. A little more chili powder in there. And I modify the other seasonings, the garlic, the salt, and the tomato paste, so check the notes before you make it. Okay, so now we're going to put about 1 tablespoon. Well, I guess it would help if I opened it. Of tomato paste. Actually, plus another teaspoon maybe. Okay, you see that tomato paste tightened up everything. Ooh, look at that. You want to keep this kind of light. The tomato paste can get away from you, and then all of a sudden you've got something heavy. This needs to be kind of light. This is perfect. We're just going to let this keep cooking down. All right, so I've got a pound of ground beef. I've got them rolled out into 4-ounce patties, well, patty balls, and I'm going to show you the proper way to make an actual burger patty so it actually looks neat. Now see, I'm using the back of this my pinky finger right there, mashing it into it, right? You just kind of come around the side, mash it out with the top hand. Look at that, all right? You can actually have a good looking burger patty. Make your burger patties larger than your buns because they're gonna shrink. And that's how you do that. Okay, do the regular salt, garlic, and black pepper on all. All right, just a little bit of oil. I'm gonna put season side down, so now I can season the other side as well. Now let's get two of it at a time going here. All right, those are just about melted out, but they're just about done. So I'm actually gonna pull these and stick them in the oven. We got another thing we gotta do in this pan for about 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna let these finish right there. We need to get these buns toasted. I'm gonna throw some butter in the pan and put the buns in face side down. Okay, these are done. You always want to toast, especially with the chili cheese, because you're gonna put wet stuff on there. If it's not toasted, it's gonna get soggy. All right, here we are. We're ready to assemble. We're gonna put yellow mustard on the bottom bun. Gonna follow that with a tablespoon of the chili mix. Drop a burger in on top of that. And then we bring on the coleslaw. I'm making both of these for Josh. He didn't want onions on his, but there should be chopped onions on the top of the coleslaw as well. Do it one more time. Drop that burger on. Man, these things look good. All right, we got the toasted bun on top. Oh boy, look at that. Beautiful. All right, here's Josh.
What's up? Get a couple napkins going. I love these chili cheeseburgers. I'm not gonna act like I've never had one, because I've had these forever. These are amazing. These are awesome.
Yes, they are. All right, you ready? Take a small bite so we don't, look like crazy people.
All right.
That's one of my top 5 burgers ever. I love those.
Yeah, those are always good. They're always good.
They are. Hey, you know what? Got a quick tip for you. If you're on keto, you can still eat this. Just get some keto buns and you're fine on everything else. I know the onions have a little bit of sugar in them, and we put a little bit of sugar in the slaw. It's not enough to even count. As little of that slaw and as little of that sugar as we put in the whole bowl, you're totally fine. You can do keto and eat this. Yeah. I'm actually proof of that.
Yeah, it's really good too, really good. And that slaw is good on hot dogs. It's good as a side. It's good on chili cheeseburgers. But it's really a good side also. We had that as a side on some nights.
Many times. And honestly, the chili, we basically made hot dog chili. That is so good. It's so simple. Please don't put lettuce on this. Please don't put pickles, tomatoes, ketchup. Just do it straight up. That is the true chili cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, that's the true Carolina chili cheeseburger. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hit subscribe if you like this content. See you next time.